Hey there, this is Lucas. My friend Chris is helping me. He's holding the camera. We're gonna show you how to wax a skate ski today, and it's gonna be the same as waxing a classic ski, but with classic skis you wouldn't put glide wax in the center or your kick zone. First thing, there are a number of different kinds of waxes. Today we're gonna go with a wax that is going to be hopefully good for the rest of the week. If you're having trouble picking a wax, I would recommend picking something maybe a little bit colder than the current temperature, since that will work in warmer weather better than if you picked a warm wax and tried to go out skiing on a cold day. First thing we're going to do, I'm holding the iron. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold it like this. I'm going to hold the iron so that I can touch the glide wax. It'll melt, and as I put it on, any remaining glide wax will drip off of this corner and onto the ski, so I'm not wasting anything. So I'll start. My iron is set for the temperature that this wax requires. And I'm doing this fairly slowly, and as you can see, some drips are coming off and onto the ski. I'm doing it slowly because if you do it too fast and you slam this back into the iron, sometimes you can get splashes of wax in your face. I've done it. That's how I know. It doesn't take a ton. You're basically just trying to cover the base of your ski. There are sections in here that need some more. It's okay to just let that extra wax sitting on the iron come off and down onto the ski. It's not going to hurt it to touch it for just a moment. Alright, now I'm going to melt it in. What I'm going to do is make sure that the wax is not I dripped off the table. The wax is not molten for more than 3 or 5 inches behind the iron. If you have wax still sitting molten for several seconds, you've probably gotten your bases too hot, and you just really need to be careful about that because you could damage your skis themselves and they won't accept further wax at that point. So here we go. Nice and flat, doesn't require pressure. The weight of the iron is good enough. Just going to go over it a couple times. First time I came through, smoothed out some of it. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera or not, but it's not staying molten for very long. See, fairly quickly becomes solid again. You can run down in one direction as well. I was just doing whatever worked, but this is another way and maybe more standard. Or maybe even hold it on the whole time. You can see it molten or melted, whatever the word is. So this looks like it got a little bit hot because it's still kind of melted there. I guess that would be one reason to do it in short strokes, so that you're not adding a too significant amount of heat to the ski itself. I'm looking over it one more time. Any missed spots, any white, still unmelted wax spots, I'm going to go over, smooth it out. I think I got it. At this point, I'm going to let the ski cool off. I would recommend at least 15 minutes in room temperature. Some people put the skis outside and let them cool off quickly that way. I've read 45 minutes room temperature is really probably a good amount of time, but just let it soak in a little bit. It'll soak into the fibers, the pores of the ski, and we'll be back for scraping. Hi again. Here we have a ski that has had some time to sit, to let that wax soak into the pores, into the fibers of the ski. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take a groove scraper, and they look different depending on which brand you have, but here's a Swix one, Swix. I'm going to start by cleaning out the grooves of the ski. I'm going to find whatever size fits the best into the groove I'm trying to scrape. So it looks like I'm going to start with this one. There's your groove here. Just little strokes each time, and you don't have to clear it off every time like I've been doing, but little strokes will help keep you in control. And you can go back over it again as well. The reason we're doing this first, instead of any other scraping, is so that I can protect the ski. If, by chance, I slide off of the ski, there's a layer of wax protecting it. If I didn't have that layer of wax there, if I'd already scraped it off, I probably would scratch the actual base of my skis. The grooves have been scraped. Now we're going to scrape the sides, still using the groove scraping tool. Depending on the scraper you have, this may be a little bit harder or a little easier. Some of them have a right angled edge, which makes this even easier to do. But just like the grooves, short strokes to help keep it in control. As you get the wax that has maybe dripped off the side, off with the ski. Next, we're going to use a flat scraper on the ski. Just like the other steps, short and in control works for me. It's possible to do a very smooth and long stroke as well. I find shorter strokes keeps the scraper closer to my body instead of a big long stroke. Also, I've found that I scrape the ski itself a little bit less if I do shorter strokes. The way that I'm holding this is one of a couple different ways. My thumbs bend a bunch, so I utilize that in holding the scraper. My other hand comes this way. If I need to, I can bend the scraper either way my ski requires. If you've got, say, maybe a little bit beat up skis or older skis that have some wear and they're not perfectly flat anymore. Another way to do it is also this way. So I've got the majority of the scraper covered with my fingers, and then my thumbs are in the back. Same thing, short strokes. Whichever way you feel more in control. I've been doing it this way for a long time, so that's what I'm going to do. This also seems to help me look over the ski and see the reflection of the wax versus the base, and tell if I'm ready to move on to brushes or not. Here we have a metal and what I believe is nylon brush. They make different kinds of metal for the brushes. I believe this is copper. Just pick a metal brush and go with it. We're going to start by holding it in your hand with your thumb in the groove and your fingers in the groove. You can come along and support with your other hand. You don't need a lot of weight. Not a lot of weight is required. Brush in one direction, especially with the metal brush. As you get down to the finer, less abrasive brushes, it isn't as important. But with this one, I'm not going to take any chances with scraping up my ski bases. I'm just going to go one direction. Just like the other steps, shorter strokes help keep you in control. Last, we have a blue brush, very fine nylon, as was in the first steel and nylon brush. They also make a black nylon brush, which is a little bit more abrasive than this, but less abrasive than the white. I'd recommend using that too. But this is all we have. And it will work. Inspecting the ski, it looks as though it has a fine black polish on it. And that's a little mark from my years of use in these skis, but the wax itself is looking good. There you have it. Your skis should now be nice and waxed and ready to go. Got that beautiful polish on them so that you can be happy about your product and go out and have a good time.